what's sensible. It was not sensible. It was some way, whatever. And then, of course, you looked at him during the time of Octubre.AVI. He was just an old, decrepit man.
I didn't know him. Did you know him?
I don't think you ever met him.
I never met him.
He came into
I saw him walk across the window a couple times.
A couple times. He would park in the place near the Barking Seal, that little next to the Marina Square on that side where the aquarium was.
Yeah.
Okay, there was a little few. So he'd park there somewhere, and he would walk along the boardwalk on the ocean, the boardwalk, to what was the name of the place? I want to say Roses, but
Rose's Landing.
Is it Roses?
Rose's Landing.
It's a place that's been there for years and years. The
Roses.
Restaurant bar.
Yep. Rose's Landing.
So he would walk. It was a habit. He'd park. He'd walk along there to Rose, and it happened to be by my store. But he saw, when I opened the store at Marina Square, there was an article. Kathy came for she was mayor at the time, came for the ribbon cutting. Kathy Novak. So the mayor came, and we did ribbon cutting. So I was opening my store, so the whole thing went in the paper. It was a newspaper article. That's how he found out I was in town. And at the time, I was living on 2nd Street in the neighboring town, and he lived on 4th Street. Okay, this is how many years later? Okay, so 95, and it was 75 to 80 was during our time. So even 80 to 95, 15 years later, where I was sure I didn't care if he was dead. He was old enough and drank enough that I was sure he was dead.
I didn't care he was.
And he walks up and shows up. How does that happen?
How does that happen?
And my first reaction is I better go to AA so I can deal with this person.
AA or Al-Anon?
Al-Anon. I meant Al-Anon.
And so, but this was the guy that you both.
Yes, he was a clinical psychologist. Did you go to him for therapy first? Yep. We both went to him for therapy.
It was like three sessions first.
For you?
Yeah. And then I was invited out for a drink.
Yeah.
On his break.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it starts. But
on his break?
Yeah.
He took a break like at 3 o'clock every hour.
He had habits.
No.
So he would come in late. I found out later. He would come in late, have a couple sessions, go out for his afternoon, get drunk, but he always had alcohol in his system, I think. Come back, see a couple evening clients, and then spend until 2 or 3 in the morning, and then wake up the next day.
And you didn't marry him.
I did.
Oh, yeah.
You did marry him.
I married him in Santo Tomas at the courthouse in Ensenada.
No kidding. What?
There's a place. Near here. It's up here. What is it called? Papagayos? Yeah.
It's that way.
That way.
It's
there's a
just
little
right
group of cottages.
Yeah, Papagayo.
We came. We stayed at Papagayos. The kids were little.
I stayed there too.
And the courthouse at Ensenada.
It was a real
She stayed there.
What?
We've been to a few places together.
In fact, they hadn't even changed the sheets.
I know.
June, are you kidding me?
Isn't it humiliating? I mean, at least.
Well, no, it's not humiliating.
It's
mildly.
Unfortunately, it's our connection, so we have to explain it.
Yeah, and that was the beginning of. I'm like, how did we get on this?
Story.
It's a great story.
It is.
Because, and that's how the bond with Linda is, and during that time, that craziness, well, Tate and I came back from this trip, and Linda puts us up. No, before we left for the trip.
You picked him up?
No, we came to her house, but before we even left on the trip.
He was not my responsibility.
Oh yeah, I'll come collect you guys. I'll make a cake, man.
But he kept needing Linda back in, and I'm going, okay, cool. I mean, Linda was such a nice person. It was kind of hard to say, what are you talking about? So, but
Was such a nice person. I heard that.
you see how he is?
Well, I think what he's alluding to is that you didn't warn June. If you were a good friend, you would have said, June.
Oh, no, she pulled. I can't say that she, I mean, you knew what you were getting into, didn't you?
Yeah, no, there was no way under the circumstances that you could. It was a very,
But he's got like
He
junk.
had some, like,
it's a psychological,
pull. I mean, he
It's
just
a-
had
it's
an
a-
incredible pull.
and if you're vulnerable, if you're psychologically, I mean, just like the people that join cults,
Well, yeah, right. Yeah.
they have a vulnerability that like gets
The
hooked,
cult leader knows how to take
that knows how,
advantage of it.
and that's a kind of like connection that goes on. I mean, you're like, oh my God, before you know it, you're like sucked into the spell, right? And you're going like, why am I doing
Well,
this?
how did you get out of it?
Me?
I
How
mean,
did you got out of it because I came along.
I was just done. I just saw that. I just saw how it wasn't positive. It wasn't a positive thing for me. It was like just draining me constantly, just draining me.
He's
It was
trained.
all about him.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with that?
Let's ask Lola.
yeah, yeah, really.
I guess there's nothing wrong with it, honestly. If that's what, if the lifestyle fits you, there's nothing wrong.
Well, yeah, but that's
But he was.
but then that's all there is.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, bravo for realizing that it wasn't right for you.
I mean, honestly, he found me my job. He did a lot of really nice things for me. He found me my job at JPL. 35 years later, I'm grateful that I had it. He introduced me to golf. I golfed for quite a while. He introduced me to sailing. So, I mean, I can't say that there weren't positives. It's just that,
There weren't enough.
there weren't, I mean, he just had a tremendous drinking issue. And
Where is he now?
Dead.
I wonder if he's dead.
Dead.
I think he's
He was
dead.
born in 1918.
1918?
18.
1918.
1918. Go
He's
figure.
dead.
So he was 32 years older than me when I was 62.
35 years older than me. Yeah.
There's no way he's still alive.
I wish I could do that.
Guys, I can't believe it. Wow.
What's up with me?
But if he wasn't a shrink and taking in clients, he wouldn't have been able to do that.
Right.
Where would he
Yeah.
get his subjects?
Do you want to try this?
Well, the same way Manson did.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know.
It's the
kinda
same
similar.
concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah, they all are.
Crab ravioli. God, you guys should write a book or,
Oh my God, about Tate? That would be sick.
well, not about Tate alone. I mean, that would be boring.
That is a good title.
About Tate?
All about taste.
All about Tate. There would be a few of us out there. We only know each other. There were more. Because there was a court case going on during my time about this woman that lost her
Sweet.
eye in a car accident.
Oh, Paula.
Is that her name?
Isn't that Paula?
She went to Tate's apartment, the one that was there. And
Yeah, he told me. I think he was seeing.
He
He
was-
was seeing me when that happened.
oh my God.
You guys are so funny. There really is a movie in here.
But it's kind of hard to explain because
It's already been done.
Well, you know, Manny and I were just watching. We were just watching last night a movie of Great Expectations, and you know, it's a brilliant book, and it's an elaborate story with all these weird twists, and this sounds just like that. It really does.
you have to kind of like sort of be there to understand how it could all transpire.
I know, because it defies logic.
It does.
That people would let themselves get into that kind of situation.
Not only that, but how you stay connected personally to a person that was also in that picture. she was when all this was going on, he was still looking to Linda to take care of things. So Linda was still taking care of us.
Oh, right,
after,
yeah.
after, and when we came back, we did this 6-week thing, and before the 6-week thing,
You took this trip to Greece, wasn't
it was from Scotland to Greece. That's a whole nother Oprah.
You know what?
So
I sort of want to smack both of you right now.
yeah, and that you should.
Yes.
we were, man, I don't know how to explain it,
Well,
but
I was living in this really idyllic little place up there in Pasadena. It's like
oh my God.
3 minutes north
The
of
Glen.
the town, but it had a creek running behind it, and it felt like a little, oasis out there. Little rustical community, shall I say. In my grandfather's house that he built. And I think he lived with me before. I don't know. He might have even lived with me before. Yes, I think. And then he went off.
Wow, that's so
And then he came back and lived with me. You guys both lived with me, and I was like happy. I was cooking you meals, and I was like,
she was amazing.
It really is a movie.
Amazing, because she didn't have to deal with that whole side. She
I
got to
think
be
I get
whoever.
to do the stuff that I like, which is just taking care of people.
And him and I
And
were so in love with Linda about that part of her.
I remember June saying when, because it was after turkey dinner, and I remember you saying, "Can we have something different tomorrow?" or something like that. Instead of
I don't know.
turkey dinner or whatever.
And I ended up in the hospital. I had emergency surgery right after we came back.
Too much turkey.
Before the turkey.
Or they did brain
So-
surgery.
It was October. It was Halloween
lobotomy,
night that we
perhaps?
came back.
Hell wrong with you.
Oh my God! I don't know how you explain it. You know.
You can't really, because nobody
And-
would really understand it.
And Linda was the only person, when I was going through all the craziness, and I would run away at night because he would have